The Chiefs are getting set to take on the Texans this Saturday. Jaylen Watson is set to return for his first game since late October, and we give our predictions for this upcoming divisional round matchup. All of this next on Chiefin.
Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Chiefin. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie.
Let's just see that. Let's hope the Chiefs come back and show that they're regular self.
Facts. Go Chiefs. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chiefin. I am your host, Billy Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. How you doing today, brother?
Good. Excited. Ready for this matchup, this playoff matchup.
Man, we definitely got a lot to talk about today. We got some exciting news to discuss as well, too. Just overall with the team, with them looking healthy going into the postseason. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. So starting with our first topic, Texas Hold'em again. The Kansas City Chiefs are set to face off against the Houston Texans Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Arrowhead Time. This will be a rematch from the Week 16 matchup where the Texans lost receiver Tank Dell and also lost the game as well. The Texans had an impressive performance against the Chargers in the wildcard game last Saturday. Does this cause concern for the Chiefs on Saturday?
No, this doesn't cause concern for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs know whoever that they were going to see coming into Arrowhead on Saturday was going to be a team that was prepared in a playoff caliber team, because that's where all the teams are at this point in the season. I think every team is a very good team and it's supposed to be where they are, which is why we are down to these teams that we have. I think the Chiefs were understanding that anybody that stepped in Arrowhead on Saturday was going to be of playoff caliber. Now, I don't think the concerns begin with as far as the team coming into Arrowhead on Saturday, but as far as just like different things like the offensive line, there may be some question marks going into the game against the Texans. They raised a question for concern, but I don't think the Chiefs are concerned with who they were going to see. We know that that's a bright spot for the Texans, and we know that that's kind of been a question mark for the Chiefs going into not even into this game, but just down the stretch here at the end of the season. So I think that there's not a concern as far as who they were going to see on Saturday. However, I think the Chiefs have some internal concerns as far as their offensive line goes, and kind of who they're going to be able to, how they're going to match up against those guys. I know we just seen them recently, and they didn't have a ton of success against us, kind of getting to Mahomes. So, they're going to want to try and switch that up. And they did have some success getting to Justin Herbert and creating some turnovers. So I don't think the Chiefs were concerned about whoever they were going to see, but I think being that the matchup that they got, it's going to raise a lot of questions and put a lot of pressure on some not so bright spots that we've had this season, and kind of may cause some internal concern. But I think we'll get the answer as soon as the ball is snapped on Saturday as to what we're going to have going forward and who it's going to be. So I think the answer to that concern will be answered as soon as the ball is snapped at 3:25 on Saturday.
So I don't really have any concern coming into this game on Saturday, but this is not any disrespect towards the Houston Texans. Like we were discussing even before we even got on the show today, Lonnie, just talking about really the real concern is, are they going to go ahead and start DJ Humphries and then have Joe Tooney go back to left guard, or are they going to go with the best unit that they had after the injuries occurred? And then, of course, Wanye Morris was not playing well, and we went ahead and pushed Joe Tooney out. So I think in that case, that's where we're going to have like questions of what's going to go on. But I do think a lot of people are comfortable with going with the unit that we had from the Pittsburgh game to the Houston game, and then actually to the Pittsburgh game after that as well too. Excuse me, I meant Cleveland at first. So when you look at it, I don't think that we're worried, because we did see the offense be a little bit more efficient when we had that starting offensive line out there. So I think overall we'll be able to move the ball downfield and also put points on the board. But I do understand that with the money that we paid DJ Humphries as well too, I feel like they want him to come in and, of course, earn that. But if I'm Andy Reid and company, I'm, of course, evaluating, looking at the best situation, the best solution for what we have for this offense. You got Hollywood Brown that's coming back. You saw the offense be a little bit more dangerous in the passing game when once his arrival came. You start seeing D Hop and Xavier Worthy, of course, get more involved and start seeing the uppage in their reps as well too. And you saw them contribute, of course, at a I wouldn't say an elite level, but at the level that we need them to actually go out there and of course, make plays. So when we saw that offensive line that I'm discussing right now, Patrick Mahomes had more time in the pocket, and he was able to of course, make plays down the field. And you saw him hit a couple guys like Justin Watson and also find Hollywood Brown in moments as well, too, just in those spurts that he was actually getting hit snaps. So I think overall, when we talk about the concern, it's not that, hey, are they going to play bad and have a bad performance? I think it's more so Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, or you're going to make the right decision and put the guys out there who prove to you that, hey, we can give Patrick Mahomes time and he can go to work and get into God mode when we need him to do that, of course, in these playoffs. And I think that's where it stands, where they need to go ahead and go into that route. I want DJ Humphries out there. I want him to be the guy once we, of course, sign him. And, of course, we thought he would alleviate those issues. But at the same time, what we saw on film and what we saw on tape, it's working and it's happening for us. Now, the run game could be a little bit better. And I think that can happen over time as well, too. And, of course, we have greedy backs with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. I think that can work out itself because we know on the left side it's a little bit harder to run because Mike Caliendo, he's not really the one that we want in that position. However, he's doing enough. So if I'm Andy Reid and I'm Matt Nagy, I'm doing what's best for this team. I'm going to go ahead and stay with what was been doing best for us because that's the only issues that we have been worried about right now. Now, we've been worried about the secondary on the defensive side of the ball, and I understand that, but that's going to be in the next topic where we discuss somebody that's going to be coming back, and I think we might feel a lot better, and we, of course, discuss that a little bit more. But overall, when you look at it, I didn't want to play the Chargers. Honestly, it's not that I was scared of them, but we played them twice already this year, and we beat them in close games. So having to face them again, where now, of course, the stakes is a little bit higher. Still, we want to make, Harbaugh, he's a great coach. He, of course, a lot of guys played hard for him, and he was able to, shift that team from where they were at that moment to where they are at now. So, when you're playing divisional opponents in the playoffs, you all at this point will see each other 3 times. And then if you won twice already, it's kind of hard doing it that 3rd time, right? What we're fighting for right now with this 3-peat in the Super Bowl and everybody talking about how hard that is. So beating someone 3 times in a row is difficult. Now, it happened to us with Cincinnati Bengals, but they were able to complete it. And then we were able to, of course, overcome that. And then now you see that we're winning in that battle. But at the same time, we get into the postseason winning those championships. So, I mean, when I look at it, I'm not as concerned because they're still depleted with Tank Dell not out there. I feel like we're going to get the same team that we saw in the second half of that game when Tank Dell got hurt. And we pretty much dominated at that point. Now, CJ Stroud, he can go out there and make some noise. We can't sleep on him. So we're not going to have any Rex Ryan moments and saying this is a bye week. It's not. And the Chiefs never look at any game like that at all. They know that every team is coming out there to compete against them. And all teams were supposed to win this weekend as well, too. All the higher seeds. So we knew that, hey, people are gunning for us. They're coming for our necks, and we knew that we were going to get the best competition because you got those guys who are going to be competing on Sunday, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. They're going to be fighting to get to the Arrowhead Invitational that's supposed to be next week in Arrowhead Stadium. So I'm fine. I don't have any concern. Not as much. I think it's just what we're worried about is Andy, Nagy, do the right thing, make the right decision. DJ Humphries, I want you out there, but go ahead if you have to, just ride it out. It's hard coming back from an ACL injury. I don't want to put that against you, but we know that what issue we've been having the entire season. Patrick Mahomes started getting frustrated as well. He wouldn't want to go back into that going into the postseason.
Yeah, and I mean, it don't sound like you too concerned, but it sound like you kind of concerned. And I guess that's what they would say for both of us because we kind of got question marks about a lot of stuff. But like you said, I really think it's just like you said about the coaches. Not don't get too smart. Don't start overthinking. Like if you don't outthink yourself, Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, um, go with the person who's been the solidest, and we've all seen it. We got eyes. The best offense we've seen were the last three games: the Texans, Pittsburgh, and it was good, even better against Cleveland. So I mean, don't get too smart. Don't get too cute here, as we like to say.
Before we move on, Lonnie, I think and I respect that you saying you. It's like you feel kind of nervous. The only reason why I'm going to say like it's not that I'm even kind of nervous. I just want to point out the obvious, and this is what we're all seeing across the media as fans who's talking, knowing all these Facebook groups that can't see Chiefs related, or just on those media sites in general. We're saying the same thing. Don't get too smart. Just do you seen what we have at this moment, and it worked out well for us. Our defense is trending in the right direction. So as long as you put up enough points on the offensive side of the ball, we're not going to get too fancy. We don't have to worry about. We don't have to force ourselves to go over 30 points. Or if our defense handle their part, and we go ahead and handle that time of possession like we're doing, but you're completing those drives with touchdowns, I'm fine with a 28-14 win. If they're scoring their last points, and of course garbage time, and you're just trying to make it look a lot better than what it already was, I'm okay with that, because what you're doing is you're just playing smart football. You're playing strategic football. You're not putting all of that out on tape. I know a lot of people say like it don't matter how you put on tape. You still at the end of the day you got to go out there and execute. It does matter because you can game plan for that. And if the Chiefs don't have to do all that, and they can dominate you. Even though when it comes into the postseason, they do get more creative. But if their creativity is causing them to go up quick in the game, and they're also doing what they have to do on the defensive side of the ball, they're not going to overdo it. They're just going to keep on killing you with that, and we're going to get out this game and then get prepared for the AFC Championship game next week. So I'm just putting that out there. Like I'm not concerned. I'm just acknowledging what we all know. If you do that, then we're going to be concerned. Then we will be concerned. But anything else you want to add before we go ahead and move on?
Nope, I think you said it best. Like you said, don't do nothing. So don't get too smart.
All right, that's all. Well, before we move on to our next topic, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Make sure of course, you go back to our old videos as well. Like those, share those to others. Have other Chiefs fans like yourself, of course, enjoy our content, because we're definitely trying to move up there. We are on the road to 500 subscribers as well too. So once we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. So please support the channel, tap in with us. We definitely appreciate it. Also, in the description as well too, we're getting to the postseason as well. You still have a chance to get on Clinton and Shannon's Home of the Chiefs podcast, where they interview Chiefs fans like yourself and talk about how you became a fan, and of course talk about some current events that's going on as well too. We're in that time of year where it's going to be great conversations. There's going to be a lot to talk about as well too. So this is a good time. If of course, if you want to go out here and show your fandom and hop on that podcast, don't hesitate to fill out that form. Also, subscribe to our Substack as well too. We have a daily newsletter that goes out Monday through Friday, and also we have a pregame and postgame article that we put out as well too, before and after the game, giving you exclusive breakdowns and also exclusive coverage ahead of that particular game and after that game that happens for the Kansas City Chiefs. And also, if you want a shirt, if you want some merch, please make sure to hit up myself, Lonnie, and Clinton as well too, so we can go ahead and put in the order and get you that shirt as soon as possible. We're definitely going to have more merch coming out as well too, and we'll discuss that a little bit more as we get deeper into that. But if you want to support us and you want some merch, don't hesitate to hit us up so we can get that to you. All right, we've been waiting for this. Watts Island is back. The Chiefs anticipate the return of cornerback Jaylen Watson for the upcoming playoff game against the Houston Texans. Watson has been sidelined since late October, and the Chiefs are looking forward to having their second best cornerback back on the field. Does his return alleviate the concerns that arose regarding the secondary following his injury?
I don't think it removes the concern. However, I do think it adds some much needed depth to that cornerback room that we've been missing since Jaylen Watson has been gone. Andy Reid was asked earlier today how he did in practice. Andy Reid said he looked good, but he didn't think he could play an entire game. So I'll be anxious to see what Jaylen Watson gives us out there, and if he comes out and he's starting, because on the other hand, he could be that person that just comes out and starts, and then of course we just have all hands on deck, and the band is back together. 22 and 35 are back together, and we know what they like to do. They usually locking guys down. And it kind of gives us the advantage being that the Texans they're in a hampered wide receiver core. So either way, I don't think it completely eliminates the concern, because we know we had our cornerback twos weren't looking too good there for a minute. But I do like the added depth that it gives the Chiefs. And just in case anybody gets hurt or someone is having a bad day at the office, we can go ahead and call on 3-5 to come in there and help us lock some guys up. So I love the added depth that it gives the Chiefs as far as adding somebody to that cornerback room and getting your cornerback your number 2 corner back up and running. Now, how much of himself he'll be, I think we'll have to see that in the game. So, but I think it's great, but doesn't eliminate the total concern. But if 3-5 can be himself, we know who we've had, what we had in him since he's been here. This is a guy that loves playoff games. He loves the spotlight. He embraces that type of stuff. He loves this stage. So I'm anxious to see him. I think you'll be anxious to see him. Just kind of see what he does, but I don't think it just eliminates the concern in totality. No.
His return, for me, not to be Mr. just so optimistic, but it does alleviate some of that concern that I had. Even though Joshua Williams and Najee Johnson, like the past couple of weeks, have played a lot better. Now it's been a rotation of what they had in them in moments where they made major mistakes. The Chiefs didn't hesitate to be like, okay, put the next guy out there. You go ahead and get those reps now, and they were able to step up. It's still some growth that needs to, that we can see there, and it can happen. But I do think it puts Joshua Williams in the best position with Jaylen Watson coming back, because if we remember going back to 2022, Trent McDuffie got hurt. Jaylen Watson had to step out, and then we saw what he was able to produce and put out there on the field. He got a big interception in that Chargers game in week 2, and also he was able to handle his own going into the week 5, week 6 matchup when we had to face the Buffalo Bills, and then Trent McDuffie returned. So I think having a guy like that coming back, where he's going to handle his side. He's going to do his part. He understands the assignments. And then also he has had those relationships with Trent McDuffie and also L'Jarius Sneed as well, too. This duo reminds me of that. It puts me in, when I remind myself of what we saw the last couple years when we lost Charvarius Ward, and then L'Jarius Sneed had to step up in that number 1 spot at the cornerback position. He has the same body frame. He plays the ball just as well, and also just as physical as well too. He learned a lot. Trent McDuffie is in another category in his different bag. What L'Jarius Sneed was able to teach him, he was able to take that in, but you see that they don't have the same body frame. They can't play the defenders the same way. So he was just able to add more to his arsenal with playing with a veteran who can teach him a lot more. But Jaylen Watson, he has that. So he can embody that. I think with getting him back, that's going to help us. And we seen what happened in the first couple of weeks as well, too, when he was out there. We didn't allow anyone who went over 100+ yards receiving. He was very dominant. We didn't give that up as much. We were able to play well. We didn't even need any interceptions. You're just throwing incompletions and you're putting the ball. That's good defense. That's doing your part. What has Prime and all the other quarterbacks who played this game said as well, too? When you're out there tackling a lot, you leading in tackles, you're always getting getting attacked in the passing game. Najee Johnson and Joshua Williams, that's why they were always up in those tackle numbers, because they're going after you because you can't stop them. They're not up in those numbers because they come our way. It's not even getting completed. It's a PBU. It's a deflection. So now I understand him coming back from injury. Why you putting all that expectation on him already? He came back from injury in training camp that happened out of nowhere, and he was ready week 1, week 2, and it was like, what did we see? We didn't even see a decline. So I'm hoping the same thing because it's not like it was an ACL injury. It was a broken fibula that is serious and more so towards something similar to a broken leg. But we saw Isaiah Pacheco have that same injury as well too in week 2 against the Cincinnati Bengals. We see how he came back, and he had the same recovery process and the length time as well too. So I'm hoping that with the trainers and what they have done, we can be able to see him back to somewhat where he was before, and that's all we need because we're not asking you, and we know what the defense is capable of. We know what Andy Reid and Spags like to do as well too. They don't like to put all that pressure on them, but we're gonna help you get back and get acclimated to the game and work that. And with him, his practice window being open, before we played the last game of the season and had that bye week as well too, I think he's gonna be comfortable with how he feels, and we're gonna see him kind of get acclimated, keep it going, keep it pushing, snap after snap, and then we're gonna be like, oh, we got it right back. But I do think it's going to help and it's going to alleviate that pressure and the worries that we had because really it was only one side getting attacked and they were getting exposed. Now, they allow other guys like on the back end to, of course, give up their position, give up big plays at times as well because they're worrying about what they're doing. What you talking about all the time, Ronnie, you always see that X. You don't know what you're doing. We're not going to see that as much because he's going to be doing what he's doing. And then you get Joshua Williams back into his place as well too, where he's gonna feel comfortable or be ready to go. So I think they're gonna be fine. I think everything is getting back to normal. We love to have Rashid Rice back as well. But we where we need to be. And I said
That's a
that because
stretch.
when you think about it, no, we're not getting him back. I said we're not gonna. We wish we could get him back. But only reason why I brought him up because when you think about it, from all the injuries that we dealt with from the beginning of the season, he's the only one left. Everybody pretty much coming back but him, even though we would love to have him. So I think it makes me confident, and I'm happy that we got healthy at the right time going into the postseason and getting prepared for this game against Texas on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I would want Rashid to come back, but it's like the roster is almost just a
He
little
already
bit.
he said that's not happening. Him and Scott. You see how I didn't even
Uh,
bring up Scott. That
well,
was
yeah,
kind of scandalous, but
I don't
you
even
know.
I don't even really know who that is, but I mean I'm just playing. But Jaylen Watson, bro, like you said, he's done it before. Like check the track record. Um, your boy has even I think a broken hand in the Cincinnati one in the
And had an
Cincinnati playoff
interception
game, right?
with that hand.
And picked it. Yeah, I mean just went on a run with
He's a
like
dog.
interceptions. Yeah, he's a dog, bro. He just understands the assignment. A player that just automatically kind of came in and understood. I was drafted in the 7th round, but yeah, I came to win championships. So he gets it. So I'm excited to see him too. I'm hoping that he can be a little bit of himself. And I hope that, and if he's gonna be on a pitch count, Andy Reid uses him the correct way and doesn't just utilize him the entire first quarter. And saves him at least to the fourth quarter, or tries to keep him playing sporadically. I don't know, do every other quarter or something, but don't run him into the ground into the first quarter and then don't
It would
have
be
a lockdown corner for the second.
if I was Andy, I would probably in this game use him situationally. Just have him, like you said, have him on a snap count, but have him on probably pivotal snap counts. Have him on second long and third and long. Have him on those passing downs where that his skill set will be needed out there to help him get acclimated back in the game. Because of course, if they're able to handle their business and get them off the field and force those punts and force those interceptions, those turnovers that we saw in that Week 16 matchup, and we're able to, of course, run it up a little bit quickly as well too, put points on the board, capitalize off of that. You can see him leave the game probably early on with no injuries and get rest because, all right, we did our part. We're going to get you ready for this AFC Championship game. We got you in there like we supposed to. You got your snaps. You got a good amount of work. But at the same time, we did handle our business, and you didn't have to be out there for the entire game. So hopefully that can happen. We know the Chiefs, how these games be at times. It's not like that all the time. But what's different in these matchups, though, I would say. And we'll probably talk about this more when we give our predictions as well, too. Even in these one possession games, we've been feeling comfortable. Like last year, even with how the garbage day was, okay, came out, dominated Miami, right? We knew he was winning that. It felt comfortable. When against the Bills, we started out fast, and the defense was just holding their own. And it's like, we good. We get that stop. What happened? We did what we needed to do. I think we only won by 3, but we was really comfortable for the entirety of the game. Baltimore game, we led the entire game. Didn't have no worries. 17-10 didn't matter. We knew he wasn't scoring any points. And we knew if they did, Mahomes and Kelsey was going to put something up or get us down if field goal range to do it. So it's like the comfortability when we get into the postseason, regardless of the win, we don't care about the win positions. It's win and move ahead. You lose, you're done. One and done. We don't care how we do it. So I think that's why they get more comfortable in these moments. But we'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and just jump into the last topic because it's getting to what we're going to talk about anyway. And what we want to discuss is Saturday's predictions. What is your score prediction for this matchup? And who will be the standout on the offense and the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, so my score prediction for the game is I think the Chiefs win 28-10. Yeah, and I said it 28-10. A little confident. I think the Chiefs have a day here. This is a legacy. I mean, we talked about it. This is a legacy game right here. This is the game that you use to kind of separate yourself if you're Mahomes. A lot of people have done a lot of things in the NFL, but no team has ever three-peated. And I think the Chiefs understand that. And that's why I have the score prediction that I have of 2018. I think the score is going to be reflective of that. They have some older guys on the team that this may be their last run, like DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Kelce. And you want to kind of leave it all out on the field, pour it all out there for those guys. So I think the Chiefs know that. And with that being said, my standout on offense is going to be Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes has a kind of out-of-body type game. And kind of just shows who he is and who he's going to be like in this league and why we're going to have a statue of him out in front of Arrowhead soon. I think he puts on the show a master class and throws for at least probably 3 touchdowns. Probably has one of his best games that he has all year. Like I said, this is a mentality. This is a Jordan. This is a Brady. This is Larry Bird. Steph Curry, LeBron James, all of those guys. This is one of those runs. This is where you state your claim on the NFL and state your claim on sports. So do something that has never, ever been done by anybody. And I think my defense stand out. I have Trey McDuffie. I think he's going to have a good day on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball, being that Mahomes and them are probably going to come out guns blazing, or at least try and come out guns blazing. So I think Trey McDuffie is going to get a ton of work back there in the secondary. But like I said, man, I can almost feel it for him. This one means more than I think anyone that the Chiefs have ever went to try and go get. And I know to me as a fan, this is kind of something that'll separate us from just everybody else, and kind of stop all the regular talking points, and kind of put us in rarefied air. So I think the Chiefs understand that. And with that being said, I think the Chiefs go get a win 28-10, and Mahomes has a good day and Trey McDuffie has a good day.
I think that's a good score prediction. I think I'm gonna go up 3 points on you, bro. I was feeling confident. I was talking stuff like it don't matter, but I'm going 31-17 actually, and I really think it can be 31-10 for a good portion of it in the fourth quarter where we dominate, and then of course it's a garbage time touchdown. The reason I'm going with this and I'm saying this because of the out of body performance that you're saying that we're gonna get from Patrick Mahomes. I think he's gonna go to the point to where he's gonna have a lot of time in the pocket, and he's gonna be able to really dial it up and really have that connection with Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, and really show the rest of the league that, hey, what y'all thought we didn't have or what we should have had early on in the season, this is what we got now. And this was what we were trying to present. If Hollywood never would have got hurt, I mean, who knows if we would have had DeAndre Hopkins, but at the same time, this is what you would have seen. It would have been a hell of a season for them. So, but that's not even going to be my standout on the offensive side of the ball, Lonnie, because you already took him, Patrick Mahomes, as that. So going into it, I already gave y'all my score prediction. I said 31-17. My the guy who's going to stand out on the offensive side of the ball, I know everybody is ready for Isaiah Pacheco to go off. I know everybody was ready for him to come back and see that explosiveness. But let me tell y'all something about this guy right here. Came in 2017 with Patrick Mahomes. Kareem Hunt, hey, he played in the playoffs against us with Cleveland Browns, but that ain't the same. I knew I wasn't going to the Super Bowl with y'all. But this is my boy right here. He's going to have – you're going to see him in God mode, but you about to see me in God mode. You really about to see 2018 really like, yeah, really get the ball coming out, hitting it, and it's gone. I'm expecting one of those days. Like, I'm not lying. I think it's like, this is what we would have had in 2018, regardless of the defense being garbage. We probably would have went to the Super Bowl against the Rams and won. Just being real. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. He was gone by the time we played the Patriots. What happened that year before with Alex Smith and we was down and who had that fumble and turned around the whole game? Kareem Hunt. He's really built for these moments. He just wasn't on the right team at that time. He had to go back to Cleveland. He had to go back home because he needed another chance. But now you have another chance here in Kansas City. He gonna contribute to that, and that's not gonna take away what Isaiah Pacheco puts out on the field as well too. I think he has some of those same stylistic runs that we're used to, but I think it's gonna be Kareem Hunt really showing Chiefs fans, really showing everybody else. I missed out on this. We probably would have had 4 if I was still here. I missed out on. It's my time. I'm not inviting women over. I'm not inviting white women over and kicking them in the face. We're not doing that. This is what I'm doing. I'm kicking y'all in the face. I'm stupid. I didn't have the right team around me. But I'm here now at this good age of 29, coming off the couch. It's game time, baby. And we ain't cutting that out either. This is real. This is his story. This is his story. I gotta put it out there. I gotta put it out. This is his story. We remember seeing him in the car, depressed, drunk, mad, seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl and he couldn't be there. What? It's his time. So I said all this to say, Kareem, hey, go ahead and have a day out there, brother. But this ain't gonna be the end of it. I think this is only divisional round, right? But I think this is just gonna open eyes. I think it's gonna show. It's gonna make a statement like, I'm here and I'm not playing with y'all. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to the promised land. Y'all already been trying to erase me. Y'all been picking me up late in the season. I need one before I go back home and chill. I need one so y'all know. Let me come back again and do this again with y'all. you know. But that's who I got as my offensive standout on the offensive standout, Kareem Hunt. And then on the defensive side of the ball, got to be Chris Jones, in my opinion. You set out the last game of the season for a reason. Of course, we won that. You sat out in that Pittsburgh game as well too. Of course, to heal that hamstring. Wanted to make sure that you was ready and good to go for these moments right here. So I think he has to set the tone. Just like you said, Patrick Mahomes had to set the tone. He's coming out with those out of body performances. I think Chris Jones had to do the same. I think on the back end, the secondary can do their part, and I think the defensive line, they're going to go out there and pressure C.J. Stroud. But I think he has to go out there, have a 2-sack game, multi-sack game, and show the rest of the world, show the rest of the teams that's in this playoffs that we are on a mission. We have the GOAT, our GOAT, not the overall GOAT yet, but our GOAT. He's going to do it on the offensive side of the ball. Y'all paid me 5-year, $95 million for these type of games, for these moments. I didn't have all the sacks in the regular season, but I had all the pressures. But y'all paid me for this. Because in every postseason, every time we had a game, every time we got to those moments where we got into the Super Bowl, with me, Patrick Massai, opposite side of me, handling his business on that, I had to make the play. I had to get the sack on Joe Burrow to push us forward. I had to get the hit on the hand of a quarterback trying to throw it downfield and stopping that. Brock Purdy. Let's talk 2018. I hit Tom Brady. We were supposed to go to the Super Bowl. I have those moments right there. Those are not sacks. Y'all want those numbers. Y'all go back and look at the game. That was big time. Pick. Almost reached the crib. Knee it was gone. He has that type of performance again. I think he has that. I think they're on a mission. They showing everybody that this 3-peat is something that's real and we're ready to go.
Yeah, like you said, ready to go. I mean, what else? What else is there to be said when a 3-peat is even in the ballots or hanging there in front of your face, dangling in front of your face? Not a lot of teams even get to this point. Very few teams. I don't even think there hasn't been a team that has gotten to this point. So Go get it. You can smell it. You can taste it. You can feel it. Go get it.
Got it. They got to, and I think they will. It's not taking nothing away from the Houston Texans. We know y'all coming in, y'all fired up, y'all have a moment. People already doubted y'all. Y'all gonna go out there and play with who y'all got. D'Amico Ryans is a great coach. CJ Stroud, he showed he has great poise. You saw him in those moments in that Charger game, and he can carry that over as well too. But we know that the Kansas City Chiefs, we know that Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, we know in moments like this, they take advantage and they don't let guys who haven't been in these moments before go ahead and outshine them. We're going to be prepared for CJ Stroud and his poisonous. We know we're going to respect that. We're not going to allow you to take advantage of that. Take off with your legs. You did that a little bit more, we're going to hit you. It's no friends when it comes to this. We're playing nasty, gritty ball. We're going for it all. We're trying to submit ourselves in history. Nobody did this in the NFL. You had this done in the NBA, MLB, hockey, all that, soccer. Hasn't been done in the NFL. What I tell you, we are the originals when it comes to this. NFL, Lamar Hunt, it started there, it coined there. It's time for us to get up there with those teams that was a part of it all. We have a legacy. If one thing about Kansas City, y'all don't know us for anything else, y'all know us for football. And it's time for us to be known for that. It's time for us to put ourselves in that realm. And it starts right here in the divisional round. But that's all we have for this episode of Chiefin. We definitely appreciate everyone for, of course, supporting us and watching our videos, liking it, and of course sharing it out as well too. Please continue to do so. Remember, we're on our road to 500 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. Tap in with everything because we always have new stuff coming out, and we're definitely going to be having more stuff coming out for you as well too. But that's all we have for this episode of Chiefin. And Lonnie, as always, go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.